Welcome to this video on the hidden risk of rental deposits and what to do when your card limit is too low. We'll explore how large security holds from rental car agencies and high-end hotels can exceed your available credit, causing instant declines and jeopardizing reservations. We'll also cover a practical, time-tested strategy to request a targeted, sometimes temporary, limit increase, plus safer alternatives if that fails. Finally, we'll learn how debit holds can tie up your cash for weeks and how to avoid the trap. To move smoothly, we'll start with what the risk looks like, then transition to how holds work, before covering the exact call script to your issuer. After that, we'll compare credit versus debit for deposits and wrap with key takeaways and a quick quiz. Now, let's outline today's agenda. Here is our plan. First, we will define the problem and why these large security holds happen. Second, we will break down how authorization holds function behind the scenes. Third, we will cover a fast, direct script for calling your card issuer to request a specific, immediate limit increase. Fourth, we will compare using credit versus debit for deposits. Fifth, we will share pro tips to prepare before you travel. Finally, we will test your understanding with a quick quiz. With that roadmap in mind, let's move into the core risk. Rental car agencies and higher-end hotels often place large authorization holds as a form of security. These holds can easily exceed a traveler's available credit, particularly if a card has a modest limit. If the required deposit is larger than the available credit, the authorization will fail immediately. That failure can jeopardize your reservation and unravel your plans at the counter. Next, let's clarify how these holds actually work so you can anticipate and prevent declines. Authorization holds are temporary reservations of credit. Rather than immediately charging your card, the merchant requests an authorization for a specific amount. If your available credit is less than that amount, the authorization will be declined. If approved, the amount is held and unavailable for other spending during the hold period. After your rental or hotel stay ends, the merchant posts the final charge and releases the remaining hold. Release times vary by both the merchant and your bank. Some release instantly, others can take several business days. The more premium the rental class or hotel, the larger the security buffer tends to be. With the mechanics clear, let's move to the high-impact action you can take before you arrive at the counter. This sequence diagram will illustrate each step of the phone call to the card issuer. The traveler initiates the call, clearly explains the need for a specific, immediate limit increase to cover a mandated security deposit, and the issuer verifies identity and payment history. The issuer then evaluates offering a temporary or targeted increase. If approved, the issuer confirms the new available credit and any time limits. The traveler then proceeds to the rental or hotel to complete the hold successfully. If the issuer denies the request, the traveler evaluates a secondary card. Now that you know the flow, let's translate this into a ready-to-use call script. When you call your issuer, get to the point quickly. State that you need a limit increase today to cover a required security deposit, and specify the exact amount. Ask for a temporary increase that covers your need with a buffer, and set a time window. Explain that approving the request allows the issuer to capture the transaction and associated fees, which aligns with their revenue goals. Reference your on-time payment history, and clarify that this is a one-off travel hold. Before ending the call, confirm the adjusted available credit and the expiration of the increase. Record the representative's name, the time, and any case number for reference at the counter. With your script ready, let's check your understanding with a quick question. Quiz time. Question: which detail is most critical to include when asking for a limit increase to cover a rental or hotel deposit? Options: A. Your travel itinerary and seat number. B. A vague request for any increase they can offer. C. A specific, immediate amount and time window. D. The name of the rental agent you spoke with. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. Being specific about the amount and the time window increases the likelihood of approval and expedites the issuer's decision. Now that we have covered the core call strategy, let's compare using a credit card versus a debit card for these deposits. When a deposit hold is placed on a credit card, it reduces available credit but does not remove cash from your checking account. Credit card holds often release faster after settlement, and issuers may grant temporary limit increases on short notice. Credit cards typically offer stronger dispute and chargeback protections. Conversely, a debit card hold freezes actual cash in your checking account, which can persist for days or weeks after your trip. This can lead to insufficient funds for upcoming bills or emergencies. Policies vary significantly across banks and merchants, making debit riskier for deposits. With that in mind, let's dive deeper into the debit trap and how to verify policies before you rely on debit. Debit card holds can be hard-held, meaning the funds are removed from your available balance and are effectively frozen for the duration of the hold and sometimes beyond. Always ask the merchant whether the hold is hard or soft, and how long it typically takes to release after settlement. In parallel, call your bank to understand how soon they drop holds once the merchant releases them. Keep a secondary credit card as a backup in case your primary issuer denies a limit increase. If you must rely on debit, maintain a larger buffer and enable alerts to monitor your balance. To help you plan, here is a quick reference table of typical hold patterns by property type. This table provides illustrative ranges for deposit holds and release timing across common scenarios. Airport rentals for standard vehicles may hold €300 to €800, typically releasing within 1 to 5 business days. Luxury rentals or longer trips can require €800 to €2,000 or more, with releases extending from 3 to 10 business days. Upscale hotels may hold room charges, plus a nightly incidental buffer, often €100 to €200 per night, releasing in 1 to 7 business days. Boutique properties can vary substantially, so calling ahead is advisable. Next, let's visualize the life cycle of a deposit hold across a typical trip timeline. This timeline shows 5 stages. Before your trip, verify both your card limit and the merchant's hold policies. At pickup or check-in, the authorization hits your card and reduces available credit. During the trip, the hold remains in place, so monitor your available credit. At return or checkout, the merchant posts the final charge and adjusts the hold accordingly. After settlement, the remaining hold is released, and your available credit is restored. Now that you can see the full arc, let's arm you with concise pro tips to avoid surprises. Before traveling, contact your issuer early and request a temporary limit increase for a specific amount and time frame. Confirm the merchant's policies, including hold size, whether the hold is hard or soft, and the release timeline. Carry a secondary credit card as a backup, in case your primary card cannot handle the hold. Avoid using debit for deposits unless you have a significant cash buffer and have confirmed the bank's release timing. Enable account alerts and retain all receipts and any case numbers from calls with your bank. With these tips in mind, let's reinforce your learning with one more quiz. Second quiz question. If your issuer denies a limit increase, what is the safest next move for a large deposit? Options. A. Use your debit card without checking hold policies. B. Use a secondary credit card and confirm hold details. C. Cancel the trip immediately. D. Ask the merchant to waive the deposit entirely. You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will go over the correct response in the next section. The correct answer is B. Using a secondary credit card preserves your cash and typically offers stronger protections. Always confirm the hold amount and the release timing with the merchant. Speaking of cautions, let's insert a brief but important disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Card issuer and merchant policies vary widely by country, bank, network, and property. Always verify details with your issuer and the specific rental agency or hotel before you travel. With that caveat, let's lock in the key points. Key takeaways include verifying deposit policies and your available credit before traveling, asking your issuer for a specific temporary increase, and framing the request as mutually beneficial. Avoid using debit for deposits because it freezes cash. Carry a backup credit card, and document representative details and case numbers. To conclude, we will summarize and point you to the final call to action. In summary, large rental and hotel deposits can exceed your available credit and trigger declines. Holds are temporary but reduce your available credit until they are released. Call your card issuer with a precise, time-limited request for a higher limit to cover the hold. Prefer credit cards for deposits to avoid freezing cash, and always carry a backup card after confirming merchant policies. As a final visual, let's quickly show the end-to-end decision path so you can act with confidence. This flowchart will start with verifying the required deposit and comparing it with your available credit. If your available credit is greater than or equal to the deposit, proceed with the reservation. If not, call your issuer and request a specific, temporary increase. If the request is approved, proceed. If not, use a secondary credit card. If you do not have one, consider debit only after confirming whether the hold is hard or soft and the release timeline. Throughout, monitor the holds, and after the trip, confirm release and keep receipts. With the decision path set, let's close out. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you avoid a deposit disaster, please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to hear your experiences and tips in the comments. Until next time, travel confidently and protect your credit.